Alright, we're back on the Acer laptop here. I'm going to change the hard drive because the hard drive it had, or that I put in there, is really slow, and that's what I figured. I just wanted to try using it as a Windows Vista setup the way it was. Here's the stickers. I taped up some of the information on it so the location isn't given away. Definitely college-y kind of stickers going on here. But yeah, we're gonna throw an SSD in it because I just want to see how much better it runs with Vista with a SanDisk. It says 6 gigs a second. We'll see how fast that goes. See how fast it installs, because the spinning hard drive actually took some time for sure to install. And the battery actually works on it, surprisingly. It looks like it was replaced fairly recently, or not like recent, but before this thing got quit. Before this thing was quit being used, it has somebody put a battery in it. Anyway, so it's not the original Acer battery. Let's get this sucker installed and see if I get better luck with playing games or whatever, because this did not at all. Like, it would try and crash right away. This one definitely loaded. You could play the tutorial, but if you, after the tutorial, or you clicked a different campaign or whatever the deal was, it would just crash. So I doubt this is going to make it not crash. It's probably a issue with the graphics card in this thing, because it's just a basic Intel chip. It was not a gaming laptop. I don't expect it to be. And I gotta look back on notes, but I think it was a gigabyte of RAM, which is just barely minimal for Vista, really. I mean, it claims it'll run on that. 4 gigs would be way better. I think when I read about it, it supports up to 4. But even if it isn't 2 gigs, it supports that for sure. I'll have to get some memory for it. Not that I'll be using this thing, it's just fun to mess with. I have obviously something newer, like my ThinkPad over here, that, you know, does way better than this machine. But it's fun to play with some of these older things, and this is what people had, you know, to work with. So just seeing it bumping it, and the light changes from weird. Okay, let's get the solid state put in and install Vista on that. And probably not gonna show the whole install, because that would be, you know, too much. Yeah, I suppose I've never edited it to speed up, but maybe it would give me something to try to do. I don't know, we'll see where we go. Well, here's the hard drive that I put Vista in, and now we're going to switch it to the solid state. Took the screws out already because I'm not going to do that. I don't have the phone in the mount right now, but I do like the fact that I just wanted to put a note in the world. Most people playing with these things would know anyway how simple changing out solid state stuff, because these are the same size as those. Same size, and they just screw in. They got the screw holes, and plop it in there, and yeah, it's just simple switch and swap nowadays. And yeah, okay, well, I'll do it off camera here. I gotta put things right, but just making a note as how simple it is, and they just work. You just plug them in and you go. So we'll see what happens. All right, boom, SSD installed. I'll still save this hard drive because I may just plop it back in and leave this thing if I can't use it for portable, older game, PC game type stuff. You know, it doesn't have to be that graphically powerful. It looked all right and played okay on the Command & Conquer tutorial anyway. It looked okay and it was smooth, but I didn't get that recorded. we'll see if I can do a little better with the solid state. It just was so slow, and I figured as much. I just wanted to try it, just be laughable about the I don't know, just trying to use this thing. Internet wise seemed okay. I didn't try YouTube. I didn't have a browser loaded. I would, you know, Vista's not really supported anymore, and there's certain things you can download, but I didn't even bother. I wasn't gonna try. I didn't think it was gonna do very good with that video chip anyways. I'm gonna get the cover back on here and get Vista reloaded onto this thing. Tries to boot from the network first. It should boot from the CD here in a second, hopefully. Boot from the Vista install. This laptop is only a 32-bit processor. Yeah, Windows setup, I guess. So much reflection on this screen. I'm not really a fan of glossy screens. Myself, I kind of prefer the matte flat type. So, while that's loading, I will pause and put into the notes of doing things, I guess. And well, do we accept the license? I guess so. Nobody ever reads this stuff anyway. You just always click agree. And it says it cannot. It's doggone this thing. Like, that's so annoying that it's the wrong type of partition. So now I gotta go and put it in the USB dock thing and use the program. Why do projects like this have to be so long? You just want to do it and be done with it and try something, but I can't. So now I gotta wait and reboot it again and take the hard drive. I just put the hard drive in the, never mind, I'm complaining. I will come back to this again after I've partitioned it to the right type of deal, because GPT apparently is the wrong type for Windows Vista. I don't know. Maybe I could try Windows 7 or 10 or whatever, but I bet it'd be the same stupid problem. Alright, I'll fix this and I'll be back. Okay, got the Lenovo going here with Windows 11. Here's the SSD hooked up to a Gator cable thing so that I can read these or mess with them externally through USB. Using command prompt, because that's the easiest way to do this. The Windows partition thing doesn't give me the option to do what I need to do, but it's easy enough to get into everything. In disk partition, you select the disk you want, then you clean the partitions, that gets rid of everything, and then you convert it to master boot record partition instead of that. And then once it's done, you're done right there, and you just exit out, I believe. Done. And now it should be ready to hook up into the other computer. I can just show it quick here. This is the just quick thing I found, and I screenshotted it so I could look back at it. Tells you exactly what you need to do, and it actually does work. Basic quick way to convert the partition to the right partition for Windows Vista anyways, and maybe 7 and some of these other ones. I don't know. These must have been wiped on Windows 11 or something. I don't know what Windows 11 uses for partition. Never thought about it. Alright, well, there we go. Okay, now we'll switch back to this one, and hopefully this time it'll install. Way too easy to bump buttons on my phone when I'm using it manually. Stop and start clips all the time. Anyway, drive options. One has to create a new partition. apply the new partition, and then click format. Yes, there's nothing on it anyway. Does a quick format, and we're ready to go. There it goes. Annoying that I should just hook up every one of those drives and switch them to the right type of partition so that I can just plug them in and go without doing that. I probably should have done that first, but I figured they were okay. I haven't had that problem before. I was wrong. So that happens, I guess. And with any of these projects, of these older computers and stuff, it always is longer than one thinks it ever will be. Oh yeah, I'll just get things installed. I will have fun with this project. It'll be a quick deal. Honestly, it's kind of annoying sometimes. It'll get there. I will get it done, and I'll be able to screw around with it. And the solid state hard drive will be faster, and the battery life will be a little better. Stuff like that. So, and the battery does seem to be working pretty good. I can run this without even having it plugged in, no problem. I don't know how long it'll last for just using it, but I will have to put that to the test at some point. I'm thankful that the battery works. I don't have to get one. Having a laptop that the battery doesn't work is really annoying because you might bump the plug in or whatever and it shuts off. Even if the battery sort of holds a charge, it's nice to have so that you don't having to reboot Windows all the time or screw up something. Definitely prefer like a 5-minute lasting battery is still better than no battery on a laptop. Because I have some vintage ones that are like that. They are dead and they don't charge. And if you bump something or it gets unplugged and you didn't save your work or didn't mess with whatever on your game or anything like that, it quits and, well, start over again. So whatever. Anyway, random notes. I'm not going to record all this, but I bet it'll be faster than it was with the spinning hard drive. I will be back when it's done installing. Oh man, Windows is checking the computer performance. Not going to find much. It's still doing Windows installation stuff. Takes a little bit, but it's getting somewhere. It should be a lot faster with the solid state drive. Yeah, I think I'm going to end all the clips with this Acer because I'm sick of dealing with it, and it is not going to play games. I've tried multiple games of that era, even one designed for Windows Vista, and it does not like it because that Intel video chip sucks for anything 3D. I even tried, like this should have ran okay on it, an older game. Roller Coaster Tycoon 3 would have played decently on something that could handle just a little bit of 3D, and it does not. It loads it, but then it's just basically a black screen. I could see some textures loaded. It just was not going to do anything 3D. It would use internet wonderfully. It would use business programs wonderfully. You could type a lecture on it, whatever you do for college. I don't know, never went to college. And it's well used. You can see, I don't know if I ever showed it, how shiny these keys are, so it got some typing done on it. And the broken key or clicker, lots of things about it that aren't that great. I don't think it'll be something I'll use, mainly because that video chip. If it was a replaceable video chip, I'd whack something else in there, but the processor I could change. It's socketed, but the other one is soldered directly to the board, and I'm not doing that. So this will go into the collection of random laptops I own. Even with the solid state, yeah, it works. Definitely is a little bit more faster with things. Vista works pretty good with a solid state actually. But yeah, very plain Jane, basic, cheap, probably student given laptop. I don't know. but you weren't playing games on it, that's for sure. And if you were, they were just 2D basic type games, if that even really existed, I guess. So I give up screwing around with it. It works, it's nice, the battery works, but it's just not really all that useful. Especially for, like, you want to play older games, this is not the unit to use it. I didn't try any like old like early Windows 98 3D graphics. Just gonna try a quick update to the graphics driver to a little bit better, newer package on here, other than what Vista figured out. And we'll see if that does anything better for any of the games, but I highly doubt it. So it is looking a little bit different, so we'll try it, even though it had drivers technically. Something different, it's thinking hard. There it goes. Whatever that was, loading through the driver window, or display driver. Yeah, I'm gonna try an older game at some point here after I try the other 3D game and see what it looks like. Just to see if you can play anything old. You probably won't be able to see it very well, but where the arrow's pointing is something technically there, but the graphics just won't load properly, so it's just not going to have them with this Intel card, even with it not full screen or graphic settings, whatever. So not a 3D performing video card at all. Give this a try. Need for Speed 3 here. If this is any better or not, or will it even load? I don't know, we'll see. Well, the answer is no, it just crashes. Maybe I'm gonna have to put XP on this thing or something and try games, but it won't even play an older game that should run no problem on something like this. So there's the last bit of this. I'm sick of working on it. This video has gotten too long as it is. One thing I can say about it is temp-wise, it really never gets hot, and that fan like hardly ever runs. This thing must have been great on battery life for, you know, taking along, typing an essay, using basic internet. It probably would have done YouTube in that type of era, you know, not high quality videos or anything, but it would have definitely streamed video. I don't have a browser on here that will work, or I'd try YouTube, but I don't even want to try. It's just, it does play like videos off the games pretty well, so maybe it wouldn't be too bad. But or maybe it'd make a good little portable DVD player. It does have a DVD drive. I guess a guy could watch movies on the go for, you know, not a big deal, as efficient as the processor is in this thing. So maybe that's what this thing will end up being. Not that I watch movies on the go, but maybe that's what I'll just keep it as. The speakers aren't that great anyway. So we're just gonna call it quits with the Acer. This is as far as I'm going. I'm done. Sorry it was such a long, kind of worthless video, but you know, you never know on laptops like this, and hopefully the world can be known that, like, hey, this one, if it has an Intel chip in it for video, don't bother. There was a model made with NVIDIA, and that would have been much better and probably actually worked. So I'm just going to ALT control delete this video, basically. No, I'm just kidding. Go back to that. It's just not gonna work. All right, it's not gonna be a gaming laptop for me. There we go. Sorry. All right, I'm just gonna compare something for the fun of it. This thing is way lower spec. It's only a single core processor, 1 gigahertz, nothing super fast. Really was an XP. It is compatible, so to speak, with Vista. I do have Vista on here. We're just going to install Roller Coaster Tycoon 3 and see if it'll play on here. This one actually does play some games, and it's an Intel chip, not even 64 megs shared memory. It doesn't have dedicated memory or anything. It's very similar video card to that other one. And this is like almost a mini PC. It's actually got a dock. I'll have to show some of that here maybe, or something, or make a separate video. It also uses a hard drive basically about yay big out of an iPod on this thing, so I can't just upgrade it to one of these, or I would. It's only like a 60 gigabyte hard drive or something like that, really small. I gotta enter the code, but I'll get it installed and try to play it and show you guys. Well, we got trees to load on this little laptop. It's still just not graphically right with an Intel chip. This game did not like running, and does not like running with Intel graphics. It's like an older game that supports XP, even Windows 98, I think it said somewhere. Where did I see that? In the manual here. Get it out. One-handed is always tough to do anything. Yeah, 2004-ish. Where did I see? Oh yeah, in the first bit here. Where is it? System requirements. You know, Windows 98, Pentium 3. It wants to have an ATI Radeon. They're like, oh, ATI everything, 32 megs of GeForce, whatever, 64 megs. You know, this thing should be able to do it, but I cannot get any of these Intel chips to work with this game. Whatever. Just thought I'd try and compare something different to that same laptop. It isn't that great, I guess. And yeah, don't buy Intel chips for any type of gaming if you think about it, on a laptop that is. Anyway, get one with an NVIDIA card in it, or even an ATI. It'll do 10 times better than these little Intel chips ever did. These were your business type laptops, or student laptops, or whatever. Not meant to do much. Yes, the original Half-Life does work on this thing, because that game ran off of nothing. Anyway, yeah, just comparison, random video things. I don't know. Hope everybody's liking this stuff. Alright, just show this quick, because this little guy actually has to use a dock. The CD-ROM drive is on the dock, and this thing is super thin and small. I forget what model this thing is. You can look and read and see. That's modem stuff. There we go. PP09S, I think. So the battery I had to replace on this thing. Super thin little thing without the dock. Honestly, not really super light, but the dock is handy. Whatever, there we go. Just quick showing of this Dell. I think I got it because it was cheap on eBay, I think, or something at the time, and it was simple and thin, and thought I'd try something different. I liked how small this laptop is. I mean, my hand darn near fits the whole keyboard. It is kind of a small laptop, convenient little thing. Too bad it didn't have a real graphics chip in it also. Just in the little, basically the IBM nub thing that moves the mouse. I never really liked those. Maybe some people out there really like using those, but the trackpad, I mean, I don't like the trackpad either, but I'd use that or that. Yeah, nothing too crazy. I think it'll play, yeah, SimCity 2000 is basically enough of a game. You know, music. I don't know if that's copyrighted or not. But yeah, it'll run that no problem, because it isn't really that 3D of a game. I had to mute that. Just too annoying to listen to that kind of music on a little speaker. One tiny little speaker right there. That's all you get. anyway, yeah, so early games are fine. Windows 98 games. Anything not super 3D is going to be fine. But that's just that. I didn't mean to make this part of the video either, but just thought I'd compare another Vista, even less spec, you know, single core. I didn't look at much memory. Should have seen that. It's probably got a gig also. Could be 512. Whatever. In any case, it works. It's one of those more. I have so many laptops. I have basically a tote full of laptops. There we go. Just comparing another Vista PC for the fun of it, and nope, it doesn't work or game. I could have tried Sims 2, I suppose, maybe, but that takes forever to install, and I doubt it would have played it anyways. It wouldn't even really it loaded slightly better for the Coaster Tycoon. Whatever. Anyway, fun stuff. Thanks for watching my junk videos.